You lay sprawled out across the bed, comfy in your pajamas as episodes of your current guilty pleasure played. It was a crappy reality TV show, meaning it was bad, trashy, very unreality for a reality show. Everything anyone could ever want in a guilty pleasure. But as you rewatched the show, things just weren't quite hitting the same. Maybe because the newest episodes were released last night. You'd promised Theo you wouldn't watch ahead without them. Since they had a meeting at some ungodly early hour today, they'd gone to bed early last night, which meant you hadn't been able to watch it yet. They had even made you swear upon the life of your freshly drafted manuscript that you wouldn't watch until they got home. Twice. But how would they know? You could just clear the watch history and act surprised, right? Maybe just for one episode. You queue up the first new episode. The theme song plays in your room, only to be interrupted by the sound of the door unlocking. Crap! 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 You scramble for the remote, somehow losing and finding it in the blankets a half-dozen times before you manage to smash the power button. As the TV shuts off, you resume some kind of casual pose on the bed. Wait, this makes no sense. Why would you be sitting on the bed in silence? You should have... The door swings open. You're out of time. My love. You roll over from your mock lounge position to greet them, and your words die on your tongue. Theo is... in a suit. You'd been sound asleep when they left this morning, and hadn't seen them get ready. You didn't even know they owned a suit. They blink a few times at you, adjusting the sleeve of their shirt before sliding the jacket off, apparently entirely unaware of the car wreck they just caused in your brain. Are you okay? They ask slowly, movements slowing to an uncertain halt. Their jacket hangs from two fingertips, about to be discarded on the armchair near the bedroom. Fine. Hi. Your voice is too loud. What in the heck is this doing to you? You've been together far too long to be so easily undone by a simple outfit change. But... You clear your voice, roughly, trying your darndest to act natural. Why is your throat so dry? Hi, Theo echoes. A small smile curves on their lips, and they let the jacket fall to the chair. Their eyebrow arches, and you know you've been caught. Dang it. You're making a face. Their smile grows. You try to ignore the heat rising to your cheeks and glare at him. I'm not making a face. Right, and I use box cake mix. They take a few steps forward, closing the distance between you. Their legs press against the bed, and they look down at you with a nearly smug expression. You're blushing. The sound that escapes you is something between mortified and outraged. You always have the upper hand when it comes to Theo. That's one of your favorite things about them. How easy it is to fluster them. The way their cheeks flush when you tease them. The way they stutter when you praise them. But that darn suit has thrown you for a loop. You gnaw your bottom lip and avert your eyes, scanning the room for some way to get them back for this. For making you so. Fingers find your chin and firmly but gently redirect your gaze. Their gaze is affectionate and heated. It sends a thrill through you, and for a moment you can only stare up at them, at the curve of their lips as they smirk at you. Fluff it. You rise up on your knees, unsteady on the mattress. Their hand leaves your face, and their expression morphs to surprise as you grab them by the collar of that crisply pressed shirt. You pull them to you. Their hands find your waist, as if by reflex, but their eyes only widen, looking increasingly stunned, as you press your body against theirs. You bring your mouth a hair's breadth away from those slightly parted lips. This close, you can smell the bakery off him, sweet vanilla and warm cinnamon. His face goes scarlet. The smile you give him is undeniably wolfish, and apparently so. You could absolutely devour him. "Now you're blushing," you whisper. Your voice is husky but steady. Just like that, you've gotten the advantage once more, and it's delicious. You pull him down over you, and they offer absolutely nothing in resistance. Catching themselves on their elbows, their eyes never leave yours, and you get lost in the overwhelming blue of their gaze. So, good suit? Very. You tug their collar again, and suddenly you're pressed between plush blankets and Theo's firm body. There's a surprising amount of strength in their lean form. Your bodies slide together, puzzle pieces, made to fit against each other. A slow, controlled release of air passes their lips, the exact reaction you were hoping for. Their mouth drops towards yours. They wrap an arm around you once more to pull you even closer, like the two of you can never be close enough. Their touch is tender, but there's an edge, a fervor, to the way their fingertips dig into your sides. You relish moments like this, when you can coax them past their usual gentleness and into the kind of desire that overrides their instinct to treat you delicately. You wrap your arms around their neck, blood racing with anticipation. There's a sound. Music? It almost sounds like. Your eyes widen. The TV is on, showing the exact episode you had sworn on your newborn manuscript not to watch. Theo's eyes snap wide, and they whip their face towards the television. You scramble in the blankets, trying to find the remote, but their arm locks around you and holds you in place. You're scrambling fruitlessly as they pin you. Their gaze turns back to you in horror. "You were going to watch without me?" I... You sputter, trapped and entirely uncertain of how to proceed. How did the TV... Then it dawns on you. Your weight must have shifted just right, pressing the remote still tangled in the blankets. You swear. You know that means you have to face the consequences. "Wait, Theo!" An impish grin spreads across their face, and they sit back on their heels so they're kneeling over you. For less than a heartbeat, fear shoots through you. It's entirely irrational, of course, but you can't deny the relief that floods you when they grab hold of one ankle and begin to tickle your socked feet. You laugh and thrash and struggle, attempting to crawl away, only to be turned backwards into a breathy, giggling kiss. You don't even notice the echoes of fear leaving you. Can't even remember the feeling existing at all, as you submit to your partner's kisses, a consequence you would gladly bear. Debut. No way, no way, no way, no way, nope, no way. There's no chance whatsoever that you're going tonight. It's not happening. It's all wrong. You stand before the full-length mirror in Oscar's bedroom. No, it's your bedroom now, too. The mental correction is taking longer to come into effect than you'd thought it would, despite you having had nearly 2 months to adjust. And despite you redecorating, or rather, decorating, the place. To call it a bachelor pad would be a compliment, since that would imply at least furniture to begin with. Oscar's place had been just empty. "I'm always traveling. What's the point of what did you call that? A duvet? Whatever the heck it's called, if I'm in hotels most of the time." His huffing had done nothing to stop your determination to bring the aesthetic of the place from utilitarian holding cell to an actual home, where people live, on purpose. He groused the whole time, but little did he know you had seen every one of his slight smiles as you chose which bedsheets, towels, and curtains matched your shared space best. He'd enjoyed watching you make your small and not-so-small claims on the space. You stare at yourself in the full-length mirror, a purchase he had been surprisingly on board with, for a heartbeat more, before half-thrashing your way free of the clothes and adding to them to the ever-growing mountain on the bed. "You can't do this. Nope, too much pressure." You shove on a tattered sweatshirt, Oscar's, stolen, smelling like old books and his spice-scented cologne, and a pair of shorts just as Oscar enters the room. "Are you not dressed yet?" He arches an eyebrow at you, and you immediately scowl. It does not escape you that he isn't ready either. He's wearing the same jeans and t-shirt from his morning errands. "I'm not going." He leans against the doorframe, his broad shoulders near filling the entranceway, his expression shifting towards one he had always seems to save just for you. A wry kind of amusement, bordering on exasperation. "You sound like a toddler," he says. You think you hear the beginning of a chuckle in his voice, and it fans your stubbornness into outright defiance. "I do not. I sound like an adult who can make their own decisions, and I've decided I'm not going." Your earlier suspicion is confirmed. His chuckle evolves into a snort that does a poor job hiding his laughter. "It's the launch party for your book. You quite literally have to go." You throw yourself backwards on the bed with a loud groan, covering your face with your hands. He's right, of course, but there's no way in heck you're saying that. "How about this, Oscar? You edited the thing. You can go schmooze in my stead and make good impressions on whatever else is expected for something like this." You feel his presence moments before he reaches down for you. It's that familiar tingle that fills the air every time you two are in close proximity. A ticklish kind of static. He grips you firmly, but gently by the shoulders, prying you up from the bed. He'd probably release you if you had put up a fight, because he was annoying like that. So instead, you switch tactics and go entirely limp, forcing him to drag your stubborn, slumping form up. Your head lolls from side to side, but he, equally as stubborn, hauls you up into a seated position. "What's the issue, sweetheart?" he asks, the note of annoyance in his voice the only acknowledgement of your ragdoll display. You lean against him, winding your arms around his hips and burying your face into his stomach. Your face feels warm with embarrassment, and you don't want him to see. You don't want to admit the actual problem. To hear how frivolous it sounds when it's spoken aloud, all that would do is make you feel small, ridiculous. The silence stretches, and soon you feel the weight of his hand against the back of your head, cradling it gently. He leans just slightly into you, pulling you closer, and begins drawing soothing, rhythmic circles on your back. The soothing effect is near instantaneous, and you both sigh loudly before turning your head so he can hear you. "I have nothing to wear." His hand stills for a moment, and his thumb twitches at the base of your neck. His chest shakes a little, and you pull back to glare up at him. "He's laughing, that bastard. Stop it, I'm serious." This, of course, only makes him laugh harder, the tone warm and genuine. You expect the shame and embarrassment to overcome you at any moment, but it doesn't. He's not mocking you. You find yourself struggling to maintain your glare, your lips twitching into a smile. "That's the issue? We can fix that. Why didn't you say something sooner?" He drops a kiss on your forehead before untwining himself from your arms and walking to your closet. "No, it's not. Nothing feels right, and it's too late to go and buy something new." "It's just nerves. It's making it hard to make a decision." You grunt in response, wrinkling your nose. You know that, of course. Doesn't make it any easier. "Here." Oscar withdraws an outfit from the closet and presents it to you nonchalantly. "What about this one?" You eye the fabric skeptically. It's pale in color, the material looks buttery smooth, and you're almost entirely certain you've never seen it before. Is that mine?" "What? What kind of question is that? It's not mine." I don't know. Where did that even come from?" Oscar's brow drops to a decidedly annoyed expression.
Scribbles, you cannot seriously expect me to know where you've obtained your clothing.
You practically hiss at that nickname, snatching the clothes hanger from him. Fine, I'll try it. Now get out so I can change. Oscar arches his eyebrow at you.
Seeing you change? That's where we draw the line of privacy, is it? Even though I've seen you...
Beat it, spell check. He's cackling, and you're flustered and overheated by the time you succeed in banishing him from the bedroom.
Come out, Scribbles. Let me see you.
You sigh softly to yourself before leaving the safety of your bedroom, having finished your final grooming touches. The outfit Oscar picked feels suspiciously new. When did you even buy this? Still, the color is more complimentary than you'd expected, and the cut of it is undeniably flattering on your body. You still feel anxiety creeping up your throat from its nest in your belly, but your boyfriend had been right. Having the choice made for you was helpful. The quality of his choice certainly didn't hurt either. Stepping into the living room, you look around for a moment before spotting Oscar leaning against the far wall. Your mind goes blank, a slate wiped clean. He's changed as well, it seems. He wears a light brown vest paired with a cream-colored jacket, colors that distinctly complement your own outfit. The lines of the suit follow the contours of his body perfectly, and your pulse suddenly feels very loud. It's not wholly unusual for Oscar to dress up for work events or the like, but man, he's hot. Your gaze slides up his body and to his face, and you finally see the expression he's wearing. Any last scrap of insecurity you feel is banished by the look he's giving you. It's more exalting than desire, more sinful than reverence, more devoted than hunger. It's all of those things, and more. You can barely breathe.
I knew it.
He drags himself from the wall and stalks towards you, the movements reminiscent of a prowling cat.
I knew that would be stunning on you the moment I saw it.
You're flushing, your breathing coming unevenly. The effect he has on you is dizzying. But one question rises from the haze that's overcoming your mind. The moment you saw it?
You like my gift, Scribbles?
Wait, you bought this for me?
Well, you're always going on and on about everything needing to match in this darn house, so...
You bought this so I could match with you? He's only an arm's length from you now. The intensity of his gaze as he rakes his eyes up and down your body is such that you can practically feel his touch sliding over your skin.
Don't be absurd,
he says quietly, his eyes finally meeting yours. The smile he gives you is wicked, but you don't miss the tinge of pink settling over his cheeks. He finally closes the gap between you, pressing you against the wall in one swift, easy motion. His hands find your hips, and his face nuzzles into your neck. For a moment, you wonder if he chose that spot to strategically hide his blush, just as you had before. But the thought quickly leaves you, as Oscar distracts you with the warmth of his breath against your skin, the nip of his teeth on your earlobe. You shudder.
I bought it because I knew it would look incredible on you. I bought my suit after to match.
His arms wind around your lower back and fit you to him, and you nearly purr, pulling him closer. His touch is intoxicating, soft and sweet from his kisses that barely graze your skin, rough and scratchy from his beard lightly scraping against you. He trails his lips along your body, first nibbling at your ear, then brushing over your jaw, before finally finding its way to the corner of your mouth. You turn towards him to close that torturous distance, wanting your mouth upon his. All you can think about is the feeling of his lips pressed against yours. Your whole body is on fire, set alight by his touch, but still, he holds himself just beyond your reach.
Maybe we shouldn't go after all,
He hums. The rasp of his deep voice is more pronounced than usual, and you arc your back into him in response. He grins wolfishly at you, and you almost snap. Enough with the teasing. You want him to kiss you. So very badly. But before you can give voice to your wishes, he grants them as if he knows the effect he has on you. He kisses you with a languid, searing intensity. You tangle your fingers into his soft curls, and he groans into your mouth. His fingers digging hard into your body. You can feel his control dangling by a thread. He pulls back, his breath hitching, and nips at your lower lip before truly breaking the kiss. But, you begin, but he shakes his head.
Tonight is to celebrate you, what you accomplished. I want you to have that. You deserve it. You've earned it.
He raises his hand to your cheek, brushing his knuckles over the heated skin. You smile. Fine, we'll go.
Good.
He separates from you, and the cool air isn't as soothing as you'd hoped. It's mostly lonely. He crosses the room to grab the keys, and shoots you a smirk over his shoulder as he goes.
Because I deserve it too. I had to edit the darn thing. And I think you would actually perish if you had to come up with a synonym on your own, let alone place a comma properly.
A-hole. His laughter drowns out your stream of obscenities, and you depart for your book's debut. Finally, you pace, retracing your path across your studio over and over and over. The sun is setting. The light casts across the walls, shifting to an orangey pink and casting long shadows that cast the room in an eerie, comforting glow. Waiting sucks. It's never been your strong suit, but for some reason that's eluded you. It's worse today. You feel antsy down to your bones, like your blood is caffeine and your muscles electricity, pushing you to keep moving. But still, no matter how you comb through the tangles of your thoughts, you can't find the source of this anxiety, if that's even what you're feeling. Your pacing continues. You've been dressed for an hour. When has that ever? You've been dressed for an hour. When has that ever happened? You check the time again. 6:31 p.m. It's not unlike Aster to come and go, and it's rare you truly know where it is he's gone, but he is undeniably a creature of punctuality. If he says he'll be there at a specific time, without fail he would appear between the breaths, marking 1 minute to the next. He was never late, but now he said 6:30 p.m. So where?
Searching for me, little scorpion?
His voice, always so calm and smooth and dark as a frozen laze, makes you spin on your heel. You set your eyes upon him then, leaning against the wall, a slight smile curving his pale lips. His eyebrows arched in a way that makes you briefly question how long he's been standing there, if he's been watching you in that quiet way of his, and you simply hadn't noticed. But it isn't possible. You always notice him. You feel him, a prickle on the back of your neck whenever he's near. Aster's smile held a shark-like edge, the glint before a true smirk. It was masking something else, though, a feeling you had not seen before and could not identify. I was. You return his smile and adjust the collar of your shirt. The way he looks at you, his eyes fixed on your face like he can see nothing else, makes you feel uncomfortably warm.
You look lovely. Are you ready to leave?
He asks, pulling himself from the wall in one languid motion. You look around yourself, trying to gather your thoughts. Yes, I'm ready. You smooth down your front, pressing the wrinkles out with your hand. Aster's eyebrow quirks once more, and his smile grows. He takes a step towards you, gliding forward, as if his feet didn't even touch the floor.
You seem nervous, darling.
His voice drops into a purr he knows flusters you, the one he likes to use to get your heart racing. You sputter for a moment, wanting to deny it, and Aster's smile stretches into a grin. A laugh escapes you, a nervous-sounding thing much higher than your voice normally is. I guess I am. I don't know why. Aster takes another long step towards you, and as if pulled by a magnet, you mirror the movement so you stand only an arm's length from each other. Aster's smile, the wickedness of it, softens into something gentler, kinder. He often looks at you like this when you're writing, or when you're trying to work out some complex turn of plot. You smile back, and the action soothes your racing heart. Your thoughts clear a bit, and you notice, for the first time, Aster's outfit. He's wearing a proper, honest-to-goodness suit with a golden yellow bow tie that makes his eyes appear to glow. You look gorgeous. Your words are more breath than voice, and although you feel a flash of embarrassment, it's immediately mitigated by the wash of pleasure you feel when pink colors Aster's cheeks. It's fantastically rare to see him blush, and you relish each moment. Aster schools his face into something controlled and predatory, his grin wide, but the blush doesn't fade.
Thank you, little scorpion.
He takes your hand and leads you into a slow, luxurious turn so he can admire every angle of you.
I undeniably pale in comparison to you. You look...
Delicious? You ask as you come face to face with him once more, beaming. It's his favorite compliment for you, and his own expression morphs into something devilish as you finish his sentence. Sinful. Delighted. Well, you asked me to dress up, so... You gesture to your outfit, carefully selected to make your eyes stand out, although you can't hope to have the same illumination Aster manages, not without his... Aster's hand ghosts over your cheek before the thumb and forefinger latch onto your chin. He gives the slightest pull, and like a puppet on strings, you step forward, closing the distance between the two of you.
Indeed. Delicious.
He murmurs. His other hand rests on the side of your neck, the fingers curling around to tickle against your nape. Isn't our reservation soon? Dang it. Why did you say that? You don't want to go yet. You don't want him to let you go. You want him closer.
Not so soon that we can't spare just a few minutes.
He leans in, bringing his mouth nearer to yours, so your senses are filled with the scent of him. Aster smells of an incoming summer thunderstorm, ether in the air and the promise of rain. His lips graze yours, and you step in further, folding your body against his, slipping your arms around his waist over his coat, your skin gliding against the smooth fabric. You press in closer to deepen the kiss, and you freeze. You didn't mean to, but you can't help it. Your mind stutters into silence, refusing to identify the source of your shock, refusing to seek further. Aster is frozen similarly, unmoving, not even breathing, his gaze locked firmly and unblinkingly on yours. His eyes mirror your surprise, which only serves to prolong your freeze response. The silence stretches, a rubber band over the moment. Then, just as quickly, your thoughts snap back into your mind, filling it with thoughts that all point to the same thing. The feeling of a box, small and square, perhaps the size of the palm tucked into Aster's coat pocket. It couldn't be. It couldn't possibly be what you think it is. But Aster's expression is shifting, narrowing, and his smile sliding to the left side of his face, crooked and daring you to say it.
Go ahead, little scorpion. Say it.
You swallow, and your throat is dry, and you're trying your hardest not to look at the pocket, to try and get a visual to confirm what you feel under your hand, and you know, you're certain, it's a ring box.
Do you wish to discuss it? Or shall we go to dinner?
He asks. His voice has an odd warble to it, a cracking quality that sounds almost like, if it were anyone else, you would say it sounded like nerves, but this being before you has never shown signs of being anything close to uneasy before, let alone nervous. It gives you a thrill to know you have that kind of effect on him. The power it gives you, however, disappears quickly when you try to speak again. Yes. I mean, no. You clear your throat. Pull it together. You're already trembling, and although you have no idea how you'll possibly eat your dinner at this point, you shake your head. Let's go to dinner. He drops a feather-light kiss on your lips, barely a brushing of skin before pulling you into a hug. Your hand slides away from the ring box and fixes itself against his back. The embrace steadies you, ebbing the sharper edges of anxiety into a blooming excitement. He releases you sooner than you'd like, but it's always sooner than you'd like, and it leaves every point of contact feeling cold. Then he's taking your hand and tilting his head towards you, looking eager and mischievous.
Then let's go. We wouldn't want to be late.